Have a special treat for you today. Little Buddy's happy birthday. And I have to tell you, I'm really excited about this because it's by one of my fellow librarian friends who is a librarian over in the Columbus area, Dena Bradford. And she also has Many Tales Farm, where you can go and do birthday parties. She wrote this book about one of her actual little miniature horses. This is her first book to get published. Little Buddy's happy birthday. My name is Little Buddy, and I'm a miniature horse. Miniature horses are the same as large horses, just much smaller. We're even smaller than ponies. And that's what Little Buddy looked like when he was born. Here's a picture of ponies and horses, and that's what mini horses look like. I like to do so many things, but first let me tell you how my adventurous life began. I was born on a hot and humid day in a Mississippi pasture. For 11 months, my mother carried me in her womb. I was warm and comfortable and very happy. I often heard a lady talking to me right through my mother's stomach. The lady had a very kind voice, and she called me Little Buddy. But she said she could not wait to meet me. Every day she would kneel down beside my mother and say the nicest things about me. My mother's belly grew so round. The lady checked on her often because she knew that I was coming very soon. That's my friend Dena. When the time finally arrived, my adventures could truly begin. I was born in the pasture with the other horses watching at a safe distance. In a very short time, I was able to stand on my own 4 hooves. My legs were so wobbly. My mother watched as I did the very best I could to stand on my feet. It was hard work, and I had to lie down and rest often. When I had the strength, I would get up again. Over and over I did this until finally I could stand without wobbling. The whole time my mother nuzzled me, letting me know that I was doing a great job. When I was practicing my walk, a giant horse trotted over and introduced himself.
Hey, little buddy, my name is Big Horse. You look like you're ready to learn to run. Come with me and I'll show you how.
I wanted to try it, so I looked over to my mother. She nickered to me, "Go ahead, Big Horse is our friend. Just don't go too far." Oh, what fun. I was going to learn to run like Big Horse. I followed him first at a walk, and then at a slow jog, and before long we were both galloping, and my legs felt so strong. I thought to myself, boy, I hope I grow up to be as huge as Big Horse one day. Look how little he is. "Wait, who is this?" a familiar voice said. I turned toward the sound, and I recognized her right away. It was the lady that talked to me while I was in my mama's tummy. She was standing with a very tall man. I thought, look at that. She hangs out with him just like I'm hanging out with the Big Horse. Then the little lady and the tall man came closer. I was scared at first because they were so different. But Big Horse reminded me that they took great care of the horses, including my mother, so I didn't run away. The little lady said, "Little Buddy, you are the most beautiful shade of gray I've ever seen. And look at those crystal blue eyes. Happy birthday, little one." Tall man nodded and said, "You're a cute little thing, that's for sure." As they spoke, Big Horse turned away and started to graze. I looked all around, but I couldn't see my mother anywhere. Little lady knelt down and petted my head, saying in a soft voice, "Big Horse is your friend, and he will be a great teacher. But right now you belong with your mother." Tall Man also knelt down. He was still enormous, but his kindness showed in how carefully he stroked my forehead.
"You learned how to run very quickly. I think you're the smartest miniature horse I've ever met," he said with a gentle chuckle.
Now, I have to tell you, Mr. Bradford is actually the minister of music at Fairview Baptist Church in Columbus. Yeah.
"How would you like a ride to the barn?" Tall Man asked, and then he picked me right up off the ground.
Now I was as tall as Big Horse. This is fun, I thought. And there's my mother. She was right behind us, trotting to keep up with Tall Man's long strides. "Look at me, Mama," I called to her below. "I'm so tall." My mother gave a happy nicker and said, "Son, you are in very good hands. Tall Man and Little Lady know what's best for us. They will always make sure you're safe." After that, I was so tired, I closed my eyes and took a nap in Tall Man's big arms. Tall Man and Little Lady took us all the way back to the barn. I woke up when they put Mama and me in a large stall. I watched very closely as I stood by my mother. She was right. I felt safe. And even though I couldn't wait to go running with Big Horse again, I knew that for the moment I was where I was supposed to be. Little Lady put hay in my mother's hay bag, and Tall Man filled up her water bucket. I watched her eat and drink, knowing that one day I would also be able to enjoy those things. But for now, I couldn't wait to learn more about galloping like the wind. The day I was born had been so exciting. My first challenge was standing on 4 very wobbly legs, and I did it. Next, a huge horse asked me to try to run. I did that too. Finally, I met Little Lady and Tall Man. I had never seen people before, but I found out that they are so nice. I thought of these things as my mother and I snuggled into the warm hay floor. Very soon, I was fast asleep. All night long, I dreamed about green grass, wide pastures, and blue skies. I wasn't even able to gallop faster than Big Horse. Tall Man and Little Lady watched and cheered, saying I was the smartest mini horse they had ever met. He was having big dreams. In the morning, standing in the beautiful sunshine, my mother told me how God created the world and everything in it. She said that God takes care of all creatures, big and small, even those as small as a miniature horse foal. I looked at my mother, thankful that she loves me. I looked at our horse friends, happy that they want to help me grow into the best miniature horse I can be. And my heart was filled with joy at everything I saw. I sure do like this great big world. I cannot wait to see what other adventures I will have. Life is good. And these are Little Buddy's Happy Birthday Bible verses. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth, Genesis 1:1. The earth is the Lord's and everything in it, the world and all who live in it, Psalm 24:1. The righteous care for the needs of their animals, Proverbs 12:10. And then she says, did you enjoy Little Buddy's first day of adventures? Let us know. Ask your parent to help you send us a message about how you like the book. And the publishing company will send you a horsey gift in thanks. And then she has the email and tells us what on the subject line. And it says, parents, this message is used to encourage the author and the artist, and the gift will be one of our other horse-themed children's books, mailed free of charge if you can provide a mailing address. Now, that's pretty cool. I'll put a picture of this on our page so that you parents can write a little note saying how much you liked our buddy book, and then they can get another animal book, another horse book. And that's just a funny picture of the author and the illustrator. Now, this is the real little buddy. That is his actual picture. And it says, "The Real Little Buddy. Meet the real little buddy and his mother, Ellie Mae. We took this photo after my husband carried him into the barn the morning he was born. The adventures in this book are based on the events from that first day. Little Buddy really did take up with Big Horse, and they are still best friends. The real little buddy is full of personality and curious about everything. He loves to pick up things with his mouth and hand them to me. He also unzips my jacket and takes my phone out of my pocket. Little Buddy's not afraid of much. I think he thinks he's just as big as Big Horse. Watching Little Buddy grow and learn as he figures out the world is what inspired this series. Little Buddy has many more stories to tell. Keep a lookout for more adventures to come." Now, if you go to Minnie Tail's farm, you can see Little Buddy, but he's not gray anymore. His coat has turned brown. And I'll try to put a link to Miss Dena's Minnie Tail's farm, because you can have birthday parties and all sorts of things there. I hope you loved Miss Dena's first book about Little Buddy's happy birthday. I sure am proud of my friend. Come see us in the library.